Mga isyu at balita sa loob at labas ng gitnang Luzon.
Iwala kayo sa kanila. Sige, bahala na. Doon na kayo.
So kung titignan ho natin, nasa 17 days ho itong implementation.
The fingerprints of climate change linked to human activities have become increasingly clear this year.
Dahil wala kami pera, wala kami pambiling bigas.
Ito ang kauna-unahang all-digital news outfit sa Region 3. Central Luzon Balita. Naghahatid sa inyo ng mga may init, pinag-uusapan at trending na mga balita at issues ng bayan. Central Luzon Balita. Available sa maraming digital platform via website www.centralluzonbalita.com, Instagram Central Luzon Balita, Twitter @Balita Luzon, TikTok Central Luzon Balita, at mapapanood ng sabayan real time via Facebook at YouTube Central Luzon Balita. This is your one-stop source for news and current events, entertainment, public service and more. At the convenience of your smart devices. Sa loob at labas ng Region 3. Sa buong Pilipinas. Saan mang panig sa mundo. Kami ang Central Luzon Balita. Central Luzon
This meeting is being recorded.
Ang bayan ko'y tanging ikaw, Pilipinas kong mahal, ang puso ko at buhay man sa iyong ibibigay. Tungkulin kong nagampanan na lagi kang paglingkuran. Ang bayan mo'y mabantayan, Pilipinas kong mahal. Ang bayan ko'y tanging ikaw, Pilipinas kong mahal, ang puso ko at buhay man sa iyong ibibigay. Tungkulin kong nagampanan na lagi kang paglingkuran. Ang bayan mo'y mabantayan, Pilipinas kong I want to be a Rotarian for the world. Make the Rotary flag as the flag of peace unfurled. I shall serve my community, help achieve universal unity. Rotary, I shall dedicate my all. World understanding shall be my cherished goal. With a four-way test, I pursue my quest, living my little way, help attain peace in the world. I shall not have lived in vain. I observe service above self, lend a hand to all who need my hand. I'll give my spouse to involve in Rotary, heading Rotary race. I will train my family. With a four-way test, we'll pursue our quest, living our little way, help attain peace in the world. We shall not have lived in build a bridge for tomorrow's youth, strengthened by nothing but the truth. Yes, your hands, there's no reason we'll divide. We shall all understand why the good Lord is our guide. With a four-winged test, we'll pursue our quest, giving our little way of the day. Peace in the world, we shall not have liberty. Peace be achieved, we shall not have
Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build good? Will it better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? When we pay it forward, it will be returned. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build good? Will it better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? When we pay it forward, it will be returned. When we pay it forward, it will be returned.
Kanina pa ako nagsasalita. Oh my God, sorry. Ayan, take two. Kamusta ka, partner? Hello? Ayan, nakamute. Nakamute.
Ayan, so yes, partner.
Alright, ayan. So, ayan nga, as I was saying kanina. Sorry, nakamute. Oo. Tapos, bear with me the, lightings. Mukha daw akong kinukuha ng langit. Pero yun, tuloy pa rin tayo. But for the meantime, guys, we are live and simulcast tayo sa ating social media channels. Nandyan po ang Central Luzon Balita. You can browse. Ayan, kaya showcase nyo yung mga faces. Nasa YouTube po tayo. And sa ating Radyo Kalusugan, digital platform po yan ng Central Luzon Balita. And Asul.tv. With a total of 300K followers. So thank you so much sa ating media partner. So ayan, buti na lang partner, nandito din ang ating mga fellow Rotaractors and guests na, yun nga, dahil holiday and birthday ni Supremo. Diba? Birthday ni Supremo. Yes, so ikaw, kamusta naman yung araw before tayo mag-program proper?
Medyo busy lang lately, ayan, especially kanina, pero okay lang yan, no? Para sa Rotary, para sa Rotaracts. So, walang busy-busy sa atin. Ayan.
Sobrang busy, pero despite of busy schedule, so ayan, tayo po ay dadako na sa ating programa, partner. So, for the welcome remarks, ayan, to our fellow Rotaractors, Rotarians, guests, students, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant evening and welcome to Project Sulyap, a webinar series on mental health. So today's webinar has the theme, Ang Revelasyon, the secret of maintaining a healthy circle of friends.
So would you like to know how this event became possible? It's actually because of a great project produced by great minds and compassionate hearts, wherein Project Sulyap was birthed. Kaya ating sulyapan kung paano ito nagsimula at anong layunin ng proyektong ito. So may we call on the dynamic President Glenn Tinarite.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening to our fellow Rotaractors, Rotarians, guests, students, co-hosts. community partners, ladies and gentlemen, welcome po sa Project Sulyap 2.0, ang revelasyon. Pero before we can discuss the project, ang revelasyon, allow me to remind paano ba nagsimula ang Project Sulyap sa mga hindi po naka-attend ng unang series. So actually, ang Project Sulyap is nangyari lang to noong, I think, noong September, nung nag-meeting kami kasama ng mga officer. Actually, wala kaming activity noon for the month of September. So mga officer, ang naisip namin, why not we magbuo tayo ng isang Zoom webinar na kung saan matatalakay ang mental health awareness. Kaya po doon nabuo. Pero nung i-discuss na namin ang mental health awareness sa amin between the officer, para-paraw kami ng tanong, ano ang pag-uusapan natin sa mental health? Wala kami pong idea kung ano ang mental health. Kaya nabuo ang sulyap. Sulyap easily means para maunawaan lamang natin kung ano yung kalagayan ng mga tao na dumaranas ng mental health. Maunawaan natin kung ano yung mga nararamdaman natin. Maunawaan natin kung paano natin ang makakausap, ma-approach ang ating mga kaibigan, kapamilya, mga kapatid, or mga fellow Rotaractors, fellow students, kung paano natin sila magandang i-approach sa kanilang nararamdaman. Kaya ngayon po sa ating topic ngayon na ang revelasyon, na kung saan ang pag-uusapan naman natin ay kung paano ba natin may spot yung mga tunay at mga peking kaibigan. Paano natin mamimaintain yung healthy circle of friends sa ating mga kasama. At syempre, ano yung importance ng quality over dun sa quantity ng mga kaibigan na nakakasama natin. At syempre, kanino tayo magtitiwala. So alam ko po, excited na ang bawat lahat na ng mga nandito ngayon upang pag-usapan natin itong Project Sulyap, ang revelasyon. So binabalik ko na po sa ating mga magagandang host ang ating palatuntunan. Salamat po.
Okay, so ayan na nga. Thank you so much, Dynamic President Glenn Pinalipe. Ayan. And partner, ayan, kamusta naman ang ating webinar so far? Bigyan nyo naman kami ng heart reaction. If you're still there and watching, kung saan man kayo nanonood, kung nanonood man kayo sa ating live stream, shout out sa ating mga live streamer. Hello. And oh my God, nandito si Becky. Ayan. Acknowledge the presence of District Representative Alan Pleats, District 3790. Hi! Hello po.
Hello,
And the rest po na nandito na district, baka hindi ko po mention sa dami. But ayan, thank you so much for gracing our event, DRR. And so ayan, pusuan nyo lang po sa ating mga nanonood via stream and via Zoom. So, and sa ating portion or partner.
Yeah, so for the acknowledgement of guests, may we call on the past President Trina Jessica de la Cruz. So let's give her a virtual warm of applause.
So, before anything else, I would like to acknowledge the presence of our club advisor, PN Attorney Ruth Galang, Dynamic President Glenn Pinalipe, District Rotaract Representative Alan Pleats Jr., DRRE Michael Aguada, DRRN Erica Padal, District Secretary Charis Camille Manansala, District Chief of Staff Richard Sagum, Assistant District Rotaract Representative of Area 2, Marion Cayobiab, ADRR of Area 4, Napoleon Cabahug, Rotaract Cluster Representative of 3A, AR Garcia, RCR 4A, Assumpta Coray, our co-host, community partners, Rotarians, Rotaractors, guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and I hope you're staying healthy and having a productive day. One of the most critical decisions we make in our life is who we choose to hang around. Finding and nurturing authentic quality friendship is one of the biggest factors in having a happy life. In this webinar, we will help you to reflect on the quality of friendship in our lives, from learning how to find friends and strengthen those bonds to noticing the red flags and green flags in friendship. Thank you for joining us today. Good evening.
Okay, thank you so much, Past President Rina Jessica de la Cruz. Ayan. And for the introduction to speaker, and to officially introduce to us our guest speaker for tonight, may we call on Mr. John Nicole Buenafe, Dynamic President of Rotary Club of the Lots.
Good evening. Maria Agatha Ann Dizon is currently affiliated with Angeles University Foundation as a full-time college guidance counselor and a part-time graduate school faculty member. She has been in the counseling profession for 7 years now, and she is presently serving as the chapter vice president of the Philippine Guidance and Counseling Association in Pampanga. Ms. Dizon is a graduate of BS Psychology cum laude at the University of the Assumption in 2014. In the same year, she passed the licensure examination for registered psychometrician. For her graduate studies, she completed Master of Arts in Guidance and Counseling, magna cum laude from the same university in 2018, and then proceeded to take the licensure examination for registered guidance counselor, where she landed first place nationwide. Last February 2022, she completed and earned a degree Doctor of Education in Counselor Education from the Miriam College, Quezon City. She involves herself in research as an undergraduate or graduate thesis advisor, panelist, consultant, and instrument or TILS validator. With a couple of international and local journal article publications, her research interests include counseling supervision, student well-being, inclusive education, and positive psychology. She has been invited to serve as a resource speaker for numerous seminars and webinars related to counseling, education, well-being, and health and mental health provided to students, teachers, and school personnel. Aside from being a mental health advocate, her hobbies or interests, which she also considers part of her self-care, including traveling, watching feel-good films, namjooning, collecting BTS merch, and listening to music.
Hello, everyone. Good evening po. Thank you so much to our dynamic president, Mr. John Nicole Buenafe, and to dynamic president, Sir Glenn po, no, for inviting me this evening to be your resource speaker for this talk. No, so please allow me po to share my screen. Thank you so much. So let me just wait po, no, that I will be allowed to share my screen for my presentation. But thank you again so much for inviting me. It's my honor po and pleasure to serve you and be with you guys this evening to talk about this very timely and relevant topic for everyone. Sige po, so allowed na ba? Ayan. Okay. Yan. Can someone confirm po if you can see my screen?
Ayan, ma'am. Yes po, it's visible na po.
Ayan, okay. Thank you so much po. So, our topic for this evening will be just like our Protractors have mentioned, it's under Project Sulyap. No? So it's a webinar series on mental health, and for tonight, this is our first episode entitled Ang Revelasyon, the secret to maintaining a healthy circle of friends. I hope you bear with me po throughout this evening. If you have any questions, please utilize the chat box. So there are some slides where I'm going to ask some questions. So don't worry po, there is no right or wrong answers. Just type in what you feel like. But so far, kumusta naman po tayong lahat for this evening? I know it's quite, yun nga, no, nasabi, today is a Wednesday, no, medyo busy po ang lahat. Thank you for being with us. So can you please send an emoji po to signify your presence that you are still with us, no? Any emoji to indicate, or emoticon, no? To indicate how you feel. Yan. I hope enabled naman po yun, no? Sige. So, thank you. So, ayan. Meron na pong nag-share. Thank you so much. Yan. Thank you po. Alright. So, our context, no, for this evening's webinar is this video, no? So, if you haven't been living under a rock, no, I'm pretty sure you have heard about this recently trended issue about two social media personalities, 𝐒𝐵𝒊𝒏𝒕 and 𝐒𝐷. No, so they are both popular YouTubers or vloggers, no, who were caught in a conflict, no. Let's say it as that. Ayan. If you do not follow them personally, maybe the video has come across your feed, no, for some reason. So it's a topic na parang pinagchismisan talaga over the past, I think, weeks, or if it has already been a month. Ayan. So let's try to dissect po, no. So basically, this guy, no, 𝐒𝐵𝒊𝒏𝒕, he posted a video, no, which is entitled nga Ang Revelasyon, no. So and people had a lot to say about the video, no. So there are a lot of issues, no, that were raised. So let's briefly go over them. Yan. So ayan, no, he felt betrayed daw by his friend, no. So apparently they were in conflict nga. There were a lot of misunderstandings, ganyan. So he felt betrayed by his friend 𝒒𝐷, no. Again, as he claimed, he was cut off and basically was ghosted, no. So he did not understand bakit all of a sudden 𝒒𝐷, who was supposed to be his close friend, no, did not respond to him anymore, no. Parang may galit ba, no? So he was frustrated, he was confused. And what makes this even worse, no, is apart from, of course, as his friend, no, he had emotional investments. He was attached, no, to her as a friend. He also had financial investments, no, because as we know, no, vlogging is a very lucrative business. It involves money. It's income generating, no. So apparently Mr. 𝐒𝐵𝒏𝒕 is also a businessman, no. So he invested daw on Miss 𝒒𝐷. And yan, so ang major concern, no, ng mga netizens na katulad ko po ay Marites, no, is how he tried to get even, no, with 𝒒𝐷 by leaking their private conversations or messages through screenshots. And a lot of kumbaga, hindi po maganda, no, yung mga sinabi ni 𝒒𝐷 about different people or social media personalities as well. So it gained attention from these mentioned social media personalities. So naghalo-halo na, nagbuhol-buhol na po yung conflict, no? Ayan. And then for on the part of 𒒒𝐷, no, three things. Of course, definitely she was hurt, no, from her friend's behavior with what he did, no. Hindi niya po inexpect, no, yung kinilos niya na yon. And of course, no, nako-call out din po siya because she did not communicate well. He did not open up. Ano ba talaga? They did not talk things through, kumbaga. no? So naging masyadong public yung naging conflict tuloy nila, no? And of course, nag-bring up po tuloy yung trust issues, no? Especially with selecting people, kung kanino po tayo pwedeng mag-express talaga ng genuine genuine na saloobin natin, no? Without parang the fear of baka ibulgar tayo, no, in the future. Yan. And yun nga, no? So these were all of the reactions of netizens, no, issues, parang sympathizing with Zainab, sympathizing with Wilbert, no? So kayo po, during those times, so nagte-trending pa yung issue na to, what was your reaction? No? Can you please type it in the chat box? No? Ano po ba yung naging reaction nyo? What did you think of it? No? Did you feel bad for Zainab, for Wilbert? No? What was your feeling nyo, yung pinaka major na concern nyo with regards to their issue, if any, no? And what's saddening po actually is I saw these types of reactions, no, to or comments in the thread ng mga nag-share or nagko-comment sa mismong video nga, no? So sabi niya, ang hirap talaga magtiwala, no? And also hassle, kaya ako ayoko nang makipagkaibigan, no? So parang what people got out of it was that since friendships, relationships can be tricky, can be messy, it's complicated, no? It can be really difficult. Parang their reaction was to just move away from it, no? Kaya ako ayoko na eh, 'di ba? Wag na lang, no? It's not worth it kasi ayokong madawit sa mga ganyan, no? So if that is really the case, no? If friendships or relationships can be tricky, no? Why do we even engage in them ba kasi? No? So why is there a need for us to make friends? Why do we connect? Why do we socialize? No? It's because, no, we need them, no? But for the purposes of this webinar po, no, before we directly delve into that, let us first try to define, no, for the purposes nga of this webinar, pag sinabi nating friend and friendships, what do we pertain to? Okay, so textbook definition, kumbaga, no, dictionary, encyclopedia definitions of friends and friendships. So according to our trusted Oxford Dictionary, no, so a friend is typically a person who we know, okay, and with whom we have a mutual bond of affection, no? So hindi po kasama dito yung mga romantic or family relationships natin. So people who we do not have those types of relationship with, but we have that type of bond or mutual affection. Okay, so that is the friend that we are referring to. Okay, and also when we say friendship, that is a state of enduring affection, esteem, intimacy, and trust between two people, or actually more. Okay, so those are what we refer to when we talk about friends and friendship. And going back, no, why do we even engage in that? Why do we need friends? Why do we engage in relationships or friendships? No, one of the most famous philosophers have mentioned, no, that actually, no, man is by nature a social animal. No, it's basically just part of our human nature. No, kasama na daw po yan sa pagiging tao natin na we need to socialize. Okay, we are made up to connect, to want to belong. Okay, because basically, since we are just human, no, tao lang po tayo, we are not gods. Okay, we do not have superpowers. We have limitations. And we need others basically to survive. Okay, in our life, in our existence, we need other people. Because as cliche as it may sound, sabi nga, di ba, no man is an island. So it supports that claim. And psychologically speaking, no, from this theory naman po, we have, I'm pretty sure also you're very familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs from the humanistic theory. So, isn't it, we have certain types of needs that we aim to fulfill as we go through life. No? So, first and foremost, no, on the bottom of that pyramid is our physiological needs, diba? We need air, water, food, shelter, everything that we need to survive. And then when everything is settled, no, kung na-settle na po natin yan, we have next yung safety needs natin. Our need for protection, for safety and security, personal through employment, financial, economic, no, health, all of those fall under our safety needs. And then climbing up, no, sa third level po is yung love and belongingness needs po natin. Our need for friendships, intimacy, of course kasama din po dyan yung family, no, and the sense of connection. Okay, we want to belong in a community. So it's part of our human needs that we just want to fulfill. No, we want to address. Ayan. And aside from it's part of our makeup, according to philosophers or psychologists, it's what we need. There are actually a lot of evidence to support, no, how it positively impacts our health and our well-being. No? So may mabuti kasi siyang nadudulot sa atin, kaya siguro talagang nag-engage po tayo doon. And that's why basically we need it. No? So here are some studies to support that claim. There is a reliable link between social support and mental and physical health across the lifespan. No? So hindi lang po mental, but also physical health. No? And of course, one important source of support is from our friends. No? So if our friends, we consider them as social support, it is likely that they are positively impacting, no, our mental and physical health. Okay. Also, friends provide us with a strong sense of companionship, no, the feeling that we are with someone. Okay. It also mitigates feelings of loneliness. It is less likely for us to feel like we are alone, diba? And also contribute to our self-esteem, no, yung feelings of worth po natin sa sarili natin, and life satisfaction, how content, how we feel pleasurable, no, in terms of our different life situations. And also, perceiving greater support from friends is associated with a greater sense of purpose and control over one's life. So if you feel like, you know, you're getting that support from your friends, it is likely, no, that is associated with having that meaning, or you know that you are in control of your own life. No, so it impacts a lot of these aspects in our lives. So having to say all of those things, no, so kung nakakaapekto pala sila sa atin, no, we also have to recognize that sometimes, no, the influence or the effect that these friends or people we let into our lives, no, can be bad, no, in as much as they can bring us good influence, kumbaga, or positive outcomes. We have to recognize the possibility, no, that there are bad influence that we can pick up from them. Yeah. So just to illustrate this further, no, friends help individuals institute healthy behaviors in their own lives. Okay, so an example with this is if you are in a group of friends na very health conscious, you know, trying to lose weight, for example, no, so it is likely daw for you, no, studies have found that you're also going to commit to having that healthy weight or healthy lifestyle, no, kasi you want to belong nga, no, and also just like what I've said, negative health behaviors can also spread through these same friend networks. So if your friends are smoking, they abuse or use substance, it also increases your penchant or your risk for these types of vices, no? Minsan yun pa yung nagiging bonding nyo, di ba? You smoke together, vape together, yan, no? So all of these things, no, are what we need to consider. So now, let's just think about these questions. Okay, so now, na-establish na po natin why we need friends, no? What it brings us, the possibility na to be with friends who may influence us in a good or bad way, kumbaga, in a positive or a negative way. So now, how do we choose our friend? Diba? Paano ba tayo mamimili ng mga kaibigan? How do we know whether our friends are good or bad for us? And how do we distinguish between fake and real ones? No? So ngayon, just in the top of your head, or maybe you don't even have to answer it po sa chat, no? Isipin nyo lang, di ba? How do you do that? No? What do you look for ba in a friend? Or, yun nga, how do you distinguish whether this person is fake or real sa'yo? No? So you can use the chat box, or again, you can just answer mentally naman po. Yeah. So in trying to answer that question, no, parang it's not as simple as, di ba, ABC or 1, 2, 3. There is no exact formula because we are dealing with people. We are dynamic, we are changing, we have individual differences. Okay, so in choosing, no, the right people or friends, maybe it's better for us first to establish, di ba, the criteria. What makes a fake friend? Di ba? Paano nga ba natin masasabi that someone is fake? Di ba? And ang hirap din po niyang sagutin, no? Di ba? Kasi like sa mga gamit lang po natin, no? Sa mga things that we own, how do we determine whether something we bought, for example, is legit, no, or genuine or fake, di ba? Dapat alam muna natin kung ano yung original para alam natin yung pagko-compare natin, di ba? Alam natin, ay, dito yung stitching nito hindi masyadong pulido, di ba? Yung kulay nito parang mali, no? It's off, may misspelled na word, no, dun sa tag, dun sa brand. Okay? So, of course, we have to answer first, what makes a true friend? No, syempre yung kabaligtaran po nun, no? Yun po siguro yung masasabi natin na fake friend. Okay? Sige. So I hope you're still with me, no? If you have any questions, again, please use the chat box. Yan. Thank you po sa mga nagsasagot po sa chat box natin. Yeah. So according to another study, no, there are actually some factors, or parang the most typical factors we consider when we choose friends. No, parang almost automatically we tend to gravitate, no, to these people if na-fulfill po itong tatlong factors na ito, no? So first, there is what we call the propinquity effect. Okay, so it has something to do with physical proximity, no? So there are a lot of opportunities wherein you met this person, you talk to this person, no? So over time, nade-develop po yung friendship, no? So magkaklase, magkasama sa work, magkasama dito sa Rotaract Club, no? So I'm sure a lot of you are friends also here, no? So that, no, yun po. If may physical proximity with that person, if there is similarity, diba? Again, it's already cliche sounding, no? The birds of the same feather flock together, no? So if you have found that sort of similarity, like probably with your values, with your hobbies, with your interests, no? And it's likely, especially if you are in that same event, no? Kunwari sa church, di ba? You have the same faith, you share the same beliefs. Kapag sa class, syempre, you have the same program or course. Sa trabaho, di ba? You end up choosing the same career. So all of those things, no? Similarities and attractiveness. No? So actually, as humans, no, we are very visual creatures, and we tend to gravitate towards physically attractive people, no, conventionally attractive in that sense. We perceive them to be kinder, stronger, more outgoing, probably will take us into more interesting activities or dates, no? We feel like they are more nurturing and just generally better people, no? So, kasi usually, no, yung mga attractive, they smile, di ba? Yan. So, all of these things, they are very usual, no? When we, at least yung mga acquaintance level po, no? Na interactions or relations that we have with other people. But, no? When it comes to parang people we consider as true friend, there are actually other things that we consider, no? So there is actually this qualitative study that found that aside from the three, no, yung similarity, proximity, and attractiveness, there are three factors again that we consider and are much more highlighted, no? So that is trust, honesty, and supportiveness. Okay, so let's talk about them one by one. No? So according to this study, we consider someone a true friend, no? If they are someone that we can trust, or maybe they trust us. So relationships are often important to our happiness. Okay, I've already said that po a while ago. And trust, of course, is very basic and fundamental to these relationships. We'll talk about trust. Okay, of course, that is that firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. Diba, when you trust someone, you believe in their capabilities, diba, naniniwala ka sa kanila, no, mapagkakatiwalaan sila. But the issue with trust is that we have what we call as the confirmation bias. No? So again, sabi nga po ni Aristotle, we have limitations because we are just mere humans. Okay, so definitely we are bound to make errors in our perception and judgment. Okay, so as humans, sometimes we fall into what we call as the confirmation bias, or the tendency to believe what we want to believe. And of course, this impacts who we choose to trust. No, so especially if you know we have been with this person for a long time, no, over time talagang they have earned your trust, or you have placed them in a high pedestal, no, na feeling mo they are not able to do anything wrong, no, lalo na sa'yo, no. So that triggers the confirmation bias, na we try to trust people because we just believe what we want to believe, no, kahit na may telltale signs na that they are not to be trusted, no, nabubulag po tayo dun sa halo effect, kumbaga, no, dun sa halo that we have somehow, no, formed over them. Yeah. So because of this, your gut instinct may not always be accurate when it comes to trust. So as much as possible, let us try to be objective, no, in evaluating our friends. And of course, also trust works both ways. You have to remember that, no? So both people in a relationship or a friendship have to work to show that they are trustworthy. No, hindi pwedeng ikaw lang yung nagde-demand ng trust, no? Tapos ikaw hindi ka naman mapagkakatiwalaan. Okay, so you have to take care of yourself, to be aware if the other person is behaving in untrustworthy ways, no? To get rid of your confirmation bias. Okay, but you also have to behave in trustworthy ways yourself. Okay, you have to walk the talk. You can't expect someone else to trust you if you yourself are not trustworthy. And of course, building trust, especially in a relationship, no, is a process. No, so definitely it's okay, no, if especially yung friend mo, no, very new, no, very recent pa lang ang meeting. So the trust, no, that you have entrusted, kumbaga, to this person is not that high pa, or it's not that deep, no, because it's a process. No, palagi natin sinasabi, trust the process, trust the process. But building trust is also a process, no. Trust needs to be built and sometimes rebuilt over time, no. So of course, if we really treasure this friend, diba, there is always a room for allowance of mistakes, no. And if, diba, yung differences, yung misunderstanding can be resolved, if there were moments where the trust that has been built, no, over the years was shattered or broken, no, at some point, the good news is it can be rebuilt now. But again, it depends again on the people who are involved. No, and again, it takes process na naman, it takes time. Okay? So now, yeah, no, so we are trying to see no what makes up a true friend. Okay, tapos we are going to distinguish now the opposite of that by spotting the red flags. So that, diba, we can nga distinguish now what it means to be a fake friend. Yan. So, when spotting the red flags, no, I would like to remember po to check for how it feels, not what it looks like. Okay? Go beyond parang surface level and really dig deep on how your friendship feels like with this person. Yeah. So, again, some points of reflection for all of us. So, do you believe now that your friends are trustworthy? Do they give you a reason not to trust them? Have they ever betrayed you? Okay? So, ito po yung objective, no, na pagkilatis ng mga friend groups natin or friends natin. Meron bang reason for you not to trust them? Okay? Meron na bang instance where they broke your trust? Okay? Do they work on themselves to show that they are trustworthy? Okay? So, if may red flags po dyan, no, please take note. Okay, the next value, no, that has been attributed to being a true friend is honesty. So, someone you can be honest with or someone siguro who is honest sa'yo. Okay, so according to Sander, who is a counselor and an expert again in relationships, there are actually several benefits, no, why we need honesty in our relationships. Okay, so to prove its importance, honesty is allowing for us to get closer to our friends. No, so again, evidence is present that sharing things about ourselves brings us closer, no, with that person whom we are sharing with. So it brings people closer together. Diba? When someone shared their problems to you, when you knew something about them that they have not told a lot of people to, or diba, mga secrets, lalo na, you feel like you know this person better and it brings you closer. Okay? And also, it allows you to be genuine around others. No? So your friends might not agree with your views, choices, or tastes. Again, because we have individual differences. No? You do not have to be similar in everything, in all aspects. Okay? But in a healthy friendship, both people accept or even celebrate their differences. Okay? So, you know na when you are with this person, diba, you can be honest with them. You can show your true self na alam mong hindi ka i-judge, diba? And they will accept you. And it also allows friends to support each other. Diba? So our friends, no, as much as they love us, they are concerned about our well-being, they are not mind readers po. No? So if you can't be honest with your friends, if you need help, they might not realize it. No? Especially if you are so good in hiding, no, your real emotions. So be honest with yourself so that you can be honest with your friends and receive the support that they are willing to give. Okay? Next, honesty builds trust in a friendship. No, it's actually hitting two birds na in one stone. So if you're honest, it creates trust, diba, within a friendship. And of course, the opposite of that would be deceit or panloloko. No, erodes that trust. No, it breaks it. It can also help solve problems in a friendship. Okay, again, like trying to seek help. If you have any concerns, no, if you have any issues or problems with your friends, it won't get resolved unless you have that honest conversation about it. Diba? You have to be true to your friends. And it can also promote personal growth. Okay? Feedback from a close friend can help you grow even if it isn't much fun to receive it. Diba? Sabi nga nila, your true friends will not tolerate yung mga ginagawa natin na hindi maganda. No? So sometimes, may marireceive talaga tayong feedback from them na siguro they're just trying to be really honest with us, 'di ba? So that we can improve kasi ayaw nilang magtuloy-tuloy 'yon, 'di ba? And mapasama ka. Ayan. Next, also still no with honesty, there are a lot of things talaga why important po yung honesty sa friendship, no? So telling lies can change your friendship dynamic. Of course, when you deceive the friend, you might start feeling uneasy or awkward na, 'di ba, around them. Sabi nga po no ng saying na ito, an open enemy is better than a false friend, no? It's better to really be truthful, no, rather than falsify pa, no? Tapos it would just hurt the other person. So also lying can even set a precedent, no, or precedent to something that you do not want, no? In some situations, telling a lie can actively encourage your friend to carry on doing something you don't like, no? Akala mo okay lang, pero hindi pala, no? Kasi hindi mo masabi sa kanya, no, na hindi mo pala gusto yung ginagawa niya. So tutuloy-tuloy niya. 'Di ba? So if you want to change something, you want your friend na mapabuti, no, or baka this is just something petty, no, that it's becoming an issue for you, no, in the long run kasi na ulit-ulit, much better, no, to say it to them openly. And of course, honesty allows us to move on from our mistakes. No, when you have that talk with your friend, you acknowledge, no, your actions honestly, you give a sincere apology, no, if necessitated, and then make amends if possible. No, so you move on from that mistakes. From those mistakes, you grow, no, and usually dun po na de-develop lalo yung friendship na di-deepen, no, mas nagiging strong. Of course, no, very basic na po ito, concealing the truth is hurtful. So if you have something to share with your friend, it's usually best to do it as soon as possible. Diba kung patagalin mo pa, no? Tapos nag-ipon-ipon na po yung lies or yung parang siguro something that you do not tell them. It's not necessarily a lie, pero you are just hiding the truth from them, no? Siguro a very concrete example with this of this, no, na naririnig ko din from my students, for example, no, is when kunwari may bisyo, no, sabi nila they've quit already, pero hindi pala, na hindi nila sinasabi na they are coming back to their old ways. Or yung mga sa mga romantic relationships, no, alam mo na this person, yung ex ng friend mo, for example, is bad for them, no? Tapos sinabi niya, nag-promise siya sa'yo na hindi na niya siya babalikan, no? Kasi toxic, manipulative yung ex niya. Tapos nalaman mo na matagal na pala silang nagkikita, no? So that can hurt you, of course. So being honest can also improve your self-image. Okay, most of us believe that honesty is a great virtue in a friend. Okay, so maybe a lot of us can agree with that nga. No? So if you lie to people around you, your actions will be at odds with your values. So of course, no, if you have that image na nagtatago ka ng totoo, you're a liar, diba? That is not good sa self-image mo. So this discrepancy can make you feel bad about yourself. When your values and actions are aligned, your self-image may improve. Okay, so now we have established trust, no? Why it's important, what are the red flags? Okay, so now, ang dami ko na po sinabing reason why honesty is important in a friendship. So how do we spot now the red flags? Okay, so some questions, again, no, for reflection. Has your friend lied to you? No? Can you think of any instance where this particular friend of yours lied or concealed the truth from you? Have they been keeping secrets from you? Do you find it difficult to be honest with them? Okay, so again, trust and honesty, di ba? Parang ano po sila, they are greatly associated. Also, are you your most genuine self around them? or feel like you have to portray a certain image, feel like you have to um, be this way around them to please them, no? Ayan. So may nag-question, ay parang may nagre-react, no? Ayan. Yung lie po is white lie. Paano yun? No? So, yun nga, no? We should try to avoid yung mga white lies din. Kasi, it's still, you have to be able siguro to justify to them, no? Why you had to say it. Kasi, di ba, ang white lie po is, you feel like you are lying for their sake. You are trying to protect them. Ayaw mo silang sabihan ng ganito kasi baka masaktan sila. So, if you do not tell them nga, no, you are concealing the truth, nasasaktan din sila. So, pili ka. Anong sakit yung ipaparamdam mo? Diba? Yung white lie ba? Or yung malalaman niya din na you have been lying. No? Kahit nga, yun nga, it all boils down to it's still being a lie. Yan. What if may red flags rin tayo, pero di lang natin napapansin or ayaw lang natin i-acknowledge? Yun nga. So we need time to introspect, no? We will not notice, we will not acknowledge them if we do not take the time to really reflect our own behaviors and actions. Diba? Ayan, diba? Sabi, mas masakit pa po yun, hindi sinabi. Okay. Sige. Ayan, next na po. Again, going back po, no, dun sa kaninang qualitative study, what makes up a true friend, the third value is supportiveness. No? Psychological research has provided abundant evidence, no, with regards to the significance of social support in the lives of people or individuals. No? And many studies actually have found that there is a difference between the kind of support that the women tend to want to get from their friends as compared to their male counterparts. No? For females or for women, we tend to seek emotional support from our friends. Okay, so do you agree? Yes or no? And while men seek support, seek problem-solving help from their friends as a way of coping. No? So for women, mostly emotional support, no? For men, problem solving talaga, more of action oriented. Okay, so again, agree or disagree. And so yan, no? I have already established, no, kanina pa po, kung ano po ba talaga yung social connectedness and mental well-being outcome. So ulitin ko lang po siya, no? So support, no? Why it's important? Because strong, healthy friendships can have a positive impact, again, on our health and well-being. And more specifically, stress and negative emotions, like sadness and worry, they decrease when we are in the company of our friends as compared when we spend time alone or even with our own families, no? So there is siguro a therapeutic value talaga. Aside from the social support that we get from our families, we need this from our peers. So a network of also, no, another finding rather, a network of close friends is the second most happiness-inducing factor in life daw po, no? Beyond a happy, intimate relationship. Okay? So the first one is that yun nga, yung happy, intimate relationship, and it's the second most happiness-inducing factor daw po. Having that network of close, supportive, and of course, healthy social network. So it's important. So we need support because it eases our stress and negative emotions. It's good for our mental health and well-being. Therefore, okay, we have to avoid unhealthy friendships that are one-sided or exploitative, and that can help you protect your self-worth and of course your mental health. Okay, so by doing that, hopefully, no, we can push for a more positive mental health, no, getting support from our friends. Okay, so now let us spot the red flags. Again, how it feels like to you, not what it looks like, no? Yeah. So do you feel supported by your friends? No? Ikaw lang. No? Do you feel that? No? You have this sense of support, or parang your friends, yung mga people that you consider your friends are just there. Parang hindi mo sila matakbuhan. Diba? Do you feel supported by your friends? When was the last time you depended on them for help and they delivered? No? They actually helped you out. Diba? Are they there for you when you need them? Diba? Palagi natin sinasabi, oh, friend, I'm always here for you. Dito lang. Wala dyan sa tabi mo. So, are they there for you? No? Do they show up, okay, when you need them? And do they show happiness when you succeed? Are they your cheerleaders daw po, no? When you succeed? Are they happy for your achievements? Do they celebrate you? And are you generally happy around them? Or after spending time with them, parang emotionally you are drained. Diba? So yon, yung mga red flags po yan. Okay, so again, points for reflection. So if may mga nasa-check na po dyan sa mga dapat na hindi ma-check, no? I hope parang nawi-weed out nyo na po kung sino sa mga social circle nyo ang hindi masyadong pasok sa criteria po natin of what it means to be a true friend. Okay. So now, no, going directly into our title, kumbaga, no. So on maintaining a healthy circle of friends, no. Bakit circle of friends po ba talaga, no? According to experts, it's not enough, no, to just have one person kasi in our support network, because the tendency for us is we may over-rely and exhaust that person. Diba? It's so hard to be a friend. Nakita niyo po lahat, diba? What makes up a true friend. And katulad ng sinabi po ng iba kanina, sometimes they cannot be all of those things for that person. That's why, no, we have to try to seek for more friends and build that network or social circle. Okay? And also, yun nga, on the part of that person, diba, it can be devastating if that only one friend of yours that you have been relying on is unable to be with you, no? What if for some reason hindi siya pwede kasi may pinagdadaanan siya? What if for some reason umalis siya, no? Kunwari sa work, diba? Lumipat na siya ng work, ganyan. So, it's advisable for us to have a number of strong relationships within, no, our social circle. And to maintain that healthy circle of friends, no, aside from spotting the red flags, these are what we can do daw po, no? So how? First, no, is presence. We have to dedicate quality time and effort. Okay? Ito na po yung what we can do, no? On our part na po ito, no? So we have to be able to show up, no, with our to our friends, to offer quality time, no, not just being there for the sake of being there, no, pero yung kunwari nakikinig ka sa kanya, nagte-text ka naman, or parang, no, in Kapampangan we have that saying, tangong basti, no, bang agad mi kawani, or parang you are just agreeing for the sake of it so that you can part ways. Okay? So, and also effort, no? Relationships, not just romantic relationships, friendships take work. Okay? So, we have to be able to provide that, no? And remember to check in from time to time. Presence that does not, no, necessarily mean physical presence, no? We cannot discount po the fact that sometimes online presence is very valuable, especially during the time of the pandemic, no, nung sobrang, di ba, we are really bound by strict quarantine guidelines, physical distancing measures. We had to turn to online presence lang. So now, no, pwede pa rin po natin gawin yun, no, especially if we are far away from our friends, di ba? It's not easy to be there always for them. So we check in, no, from time to time, and when you have that time, no, to really do activities together. create memories, kumbaga. Also, to show gratitude and appreciation for them, di ba? We have, to keep them motivated to be their friend. Tayo din, sometimes that is our motivation, no? That something is rewarding. Hindi lang we get support from them, di ba? They are there for us. Pero whenever they do those things, no, that feel good to us, we show appreciation, no? We become grateful to them. How do we do that? Very simple, no? Through words, no? Simple thank yous. Minsan, especially if these are our best friends, diba? Nakakalimutan na po natin sabihin yan. Parang, corny, no? So, if we can, no? Let's see these words more often. We can also show this through other means. Like, of course, when we give gifts, it doesn't necessarily have to be grand, no? Minsan, you are in the mall, diba? Ma-remember mo lang yung person to. Gusto na to yung friend ko, no? So, kaya ilibre mo siya, ganyan, no? Especially if they had a bad day and if you have the means nga po to do it, no? So, gifts and also through actions, no? Sometimes when you hug them, when you pat them in the back, ganyan, no? So, that can also show that you appreciate them. Okay? And also communication, no? Parang ano po siya, no? Again, it's fundamental to any type of relationship. But what type of communication? Kasi palagi na lang po natin sinasabi yun, na communication, kailangan communication sa friendship, sa relationship. First, it has to be open. Yun nga po, from the foundations of trust and honesty. Okay, so we have to be open. You have to be empathic. Okay, try to understand where your friend is really coming from. Okay, you say something because you have something to say. No, hindi yung just to say something. Okay, try to understand them. Again, to be honest, no. Part of communication po is not just talking but listening. Okay, so we have to actively listen to them. And ito po, no, if there is one great advice that I can give you, ironically, it's to not give advice unless otherwise requested, no? Sometimes, especially for males, no, dahil yun po yung tendency nila to seek support, no? Problem solving, ganyan. But it's not all the time, no? Or, yeah, for women, because it has been found na what we seek for is emotional support, not necessarily problem solving, no? Akala natin when we voice up, when our friends, no, express their concerns to us, parang dapat alam natin yung solusyon, diba, to their concerns. Okay, so sometimes you just have to listen and just empathize with them na, oo nga, di ba? Mahirap yung pinagdadaanan mo. You're going through a difficult thing. If I were you, mahihirapan din ako. Hindi ko rin alam, girl, no, kung paano ko yan isa-solve. Okay? And you can try to ask them, no? So, ano po yung sasabihin ko? Di ba? Hindi ko po alam kung ano sasabihin ko. You ask them, di ba? What do you want to hear from me? Di ba? What help do you need from me? How can I help you? Okay? So, that is how we can communicate well or more effectively, no, with our friends. And of course, try to maintain a non-judgmental attitude, no, when we listen to their concerns. Alam po natin na some people, di ba, when we are friends with them, we come from different walks of life, different economic standing or status. Some of our friends are more privileged than us. Okay, so parang sometimes, di ba, we tend to belittle their concerns. Doon po nag-start yung ini-invalidate natin sila na parang, Diyos ko, ganyan lang pinaproblema mo, di ba? So let's avoid doing that. No? Just because you feel like you have it worse than them doesn't mean, di ba, that their pain is invalid. No, in the same way na just because people have it better than us, di ba, doesn't mean we can be happy in simple ways. Yeah. So it goes both ways. Yeah. And of course, to honor each other's boundaries. Okay? To avoid being overwhelmed, basically, we have to respect that, yun nga, we cannot be everything for our friend. Sometimes, we have to set boundaries na yung time, di ba, yung effort, especially if marami ka ding ginagawa, no, you have to tell them, no. And the correct way po, no, of setting boundaries is talking about what you can and cannot do instead of telling them, di ako pwede. Okay? So, parang ano siya, kaya po nagkakaroon ng misunderstanding, no? So, sige, I'm only available until 6. No? After that, kasi I have to attend to this. Okay? But before 6, pwede kitang tulungan. Okay? That is how you set boundaries properly. Talk about what you can and cannot do. Okay? It's not about a demand. Hindi po siya utos. No? It's not about what you want them to do, but it's what you are willing to do for them. And hanggang saan ka lang. Okay? That is how you properly set boundaries. And again, no, mutuality, relationships should not be exploitative. No, it should not be one-sided. Give and take po. There is always that reciprocity between the two of you. Hindi pwedeng ikaw lang, no, yung kuha ng kuha without giving something in return. Okay, mabu-burn out yung friend mo. Again, you have to keep the relationship going. Some sort of reward dapat, no? May motivating factor yan. That's how basically we work, no, as or behave as humans. And now, this also begs us the question, no, between quality and quantity of friends. Nabanggit na po yan kanina ni Dynamic President Glenn. So, according to this recent study, naturally, our social networks change over time po kasi. No? So, due to our age, and because of that age, no, different circumstances that we encounter, no, the size of these networks change or they decrease. Okay? Loss of contact, for example, and again, changing circumstances like changing jobs or parang pag nag-retire na po, yun nga, as we age, di ba? There is this one theory. It's Laura Cartensen's social emotional selectivity theory. And it purports that we may deliberately downsize our social networks to only a few close friends or family members as a way of simplifying our lives and preserving health and well-being. Sometimes, no, naturally as people, we tend to simplify our lives din po kasi. And yun nga, to preserve our health and well-being, we limit, no, we downsize our social networks. And yeah, so although young people, okay, because young people have been found to have larger social networks that decrease over time, this study has found that the number of close friends people have changes little over time. So parang yung social networks po natin kasi it's made up of our close friends, our acquaintances, neighbors, di ba? Yung mga tinatawag po nating peripheral others, yung mga kilala mo pero hindi mo masyadong ka-close, di ba? That makes up the social network. And when we are young, we tend to have a larger social network. Tapos, through that theory nga po, we tend to downsize, okay? But as we age, okay, even as we grow older, it has been found na yung close friends po natin, sometimes, yes, it decreases also, but very little lang po yung changes. No? So yung number of friends, no, close friends that we consider talaga, it's not related to age. No? So hopefully, yung mga close friends po natin that we cherish right now, ma-maintain po natin yan, no? Hanggang sa pagtanda nga po natin. So while our life circumstances will change significantly over time, quality seems far more important than quantity. No? So palagi po natin sinasabi yan, and it's actually supported by studies, no, or research. Okay? There are, especially, for young adults and adolescents, I think we fall into this age group. No? Focusing on quality rather than quantity may yield important dividends, even in dealing with online contacts. So even for our online friends, no, usong-uso po yan sa mga Gen Z, and parang sobrang ka-close po nila to, no? So we cannot discount the fact that nagiging social support din po nila yung mga yan. No? So it's good, no, to keep a few rather than to maintain this large quantity of parang made up lang of peripheral others, no? So quality daw po is supported in research, no? So, but of course, no, since yun nga, we acknowledge that we are dynamic as people, we have individual preferences and differences. This is not to judge people who maintain a large social network, no? So, diba, what works for you works for you. As long as you can maintain that, it doesn't drain your social battery, no? You can really rely on these people, diba? You're able to, okay naman yon. This is not to say na mali yung ginagawa ko. So now, yan, na-pick up na po natin, di ba? Yung what makes up a true friend, how do we contribute to maintaining, that healthy circle of friends. And if may na-identify po tayo, no, sa kasamaang palad, na people who are not good for our mental health, who are not being healthy to us anymore, of course, there is always that option to cut off. Okay, so how? So when and how do we do that? Okay, so when, of course, when these people you feel exhibits all of these things, okay, siguro one or even more, no, depende how you are willing to tolerate, no. So if you do not feel any concern from them, if you feel like they're not at all interested sa'yo, sa mga interest mo, di ba? Baka nagsasalita ka, they're not listening. If you have conflicting values, di ba? I think the last election, ang dami pong nagkaroon ng away with that because their candidate reflected their values. There are a lot of conflicting values. Lying, of course, no, instances of where they exhibited that they were not trustworthy. You felt like they were manipulative, controlling, they were unreliable, they neglected you, okay, they are judgmental, and they are emotionally draining. Kapag na-check na po yan, cut off, no? Hindi na po siya red flag. Parang we have to take proactive steps na. So how? There are different ways on how we can politely and parang healthily do that, no? So first is what we call as the gradual fade out, no? Parang you are dragging the friendship na to avoid confrontation, okay? And we do this when we feel like this person that we are trying to cut off will not listen. No, parang feeling mo it's not possible for you to have that talk, no, where you express yourself, no. So if you feel like this person is not going to listen, and ikaw rin takot ka sa confrontation, no, you can do that, no? You do not show up for them anymore, di ka na nagre-reply, hanggang sa, yun nga, mawala na yung connection. Then also, of course, yun nga, talking it out to really express your concerns. And of course, that may lead to you patching things up or actually cutting off, di ba? But it's good that at least you were honest with each other. And in talking it out, I just want to point out po, no, to avoid defensiveness between the two parties, you start again communicating using I statements. Ako, no? Ako, ganito yung naramdaman ko. This is what I experienced. I feel hurt. I feel betrayed. I feel like I cannot trust you. Ganun po siya. When you did this, when you did that. Okay? Or when you did not do this, ganyan. No? So, to avoid that, kasi when we parang accuse them na ikaw ganito ka, no? Ito yung di ko gusto sa'yo. Ganito ka sa akin, di ka nakikinig, di ka ganyan. This person, diba, will become defensive. It's natural for them, especially if they also can think of the times na they felt like they were there for you. So, na-invalidate ka, ini-invalidate mo din sila kasi you're trying to, hindi nga eh, diba? Sino tama sa atin dalawa? Okay, so to be more effective, no, especially with conflict, you use I statements. And yun nga, taking a break, no? So you decide mutually that because you are not healthy for each other anymore, you're going to part ways. And also, there is also that option naman to end things immediately, especially for very toxic or abusive relationships, controlling, no, relationships. We end things immediately. Okay. So now, those are the things that we can do healthily, mindfully. Now, how do we cut off? What are the things that we should not do, no? When we try to cut off people from our lives, diba? Let us avoid being hostile or aggressive, because maybe at some point, diba? You shared precious memories with this person, diba? So let's avoid hostility and aggression. And again, even if wala ka talagang napala, no, dito sa person na ito, it only puts you in a difficult situation, no, kapag nakipag-away ka. Also, when you enlist other friends to end a friendship for you, kausapin mo siya, sabihin mo, ayaw ko na siya maging friend. So that is not effective also, because it's about the two of you. It's not, do not try to involve other people anymore. Okay, and ayan, no, yung nangyari po, no, sa 𝐒𝐔𝐻𝒐𝐬𝒏𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒏𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊𝒊 negative things about your friend on social media. Okay? So, that is really not the way to do it. Again, it's not just about your friend, but it really paints you in a bad light. Ay, ganyan pala siya. 'Di ba? Hindi pala siya mapagkakatiwalaan. Ayan. And also, parang naging point of discussion din po ang Data Privacy Act, actually, our private messages daw po, if we leak them publicly, if we do not have that consent of the person, we can be sued. So again, there is the legal implication pa pala. So anything that you feel like can create more problems, do not do them when you cut off. Okay? And of course, lastly, is self-care. There are different types of self-care. Personal, emotional, spiritual, and social self-care. So self-care basically is, taking proactive steps to take care of yourself, preserving your well-being. Kapag alam na po natin that we are not in a healthy state, mentally, emotionally, socially, we do self-care already. Okay, so in the social aspect, like what I said a while ago, we have to be able to set boundaries, indicating things that you are and are not able to do. You practice reaching out to others, again, being honest with your friends, to ask for help so that you can receive support. You focus on quality time so that, you can make memories. That is your way of showing appreciation, presence, and get creative, diba? Integrate your hobbies and interests to your activities with your friends. Okay, so maybe you want to try something different, diba? A new experience, or kahit na paulit-ulit pa yan, as long as that is really your way, parang of bonding, healthy naman, like yung kahit na paulit-ulit, kape, samgyupsal, yan, okay lang yan, So, as long as you know that you both enjoy that activity, that is self-care also. Okay, so now, ano ngayon po, ang tunay na revelasyon? Hopefully, this is what has been revealed through this webinar po, 3 things. Be kind to others, especially to people who are trustworthy, who are honest with you, and give you support. Be kind to them. They are your true friends. And be kind to yourself. Cut yourself some slack if you feel like you're lacking as a friend. Okay? There is always that option to talk it out, to set boundaries. Okay? And lastly, be the friend you wish to have. Okay? So it will come back to you. If you become the person you wish to be, you will attract all of those people. So be the friend that you deserve and you wish to have. So that's it po for my talk this evening. Thank you so much for listening. I hope may napulot po kayo from this webinar, one way or another. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yan, thank you so much, Ma'am Agatha, for that very informative and relevant talk. Napakaganda po ng presentation ninyo, ma'am.
Tama, tama. I agree with you, partner Veronica. Victoria, sorry.
Yes, yan. So again po,
thank you sa ating speaker. Na-enlighten ba tayo? Ayan, ang dami pa nga. Actually, sa ating guest speaker, ang dami pong mga reactions on our chat box. I guess nabasa naman po isa-isa kanina. And then dito dun sa ating live stream. So marami din po mga reaction. Nagmamaritesan pa sila. Diba? Nakikita dito sa monitor. But ayan for at this juncture, partner. Go ahead, partner, please. Okay na pala to. Okay na pala. Thank you for everyone, or everyone for your active participation in today's press conference. And at this juncture, may we call on Ms. Charisse Camille T. Mananzala, Secretary of Rotary Club of Dolores, and also Secretary of District 3790, Rotary 3790.
Okay. Dinig na ba ako? Ayan. Certificate of Appreciation is proudly presented to Dr. Maria Agatha D. Dizon for giving her valuable insights as guest speaker for Project SULYAP 2.0, Sustaining, Unveiling, and Liberating Youth, Adults, and Professionals, a mental health awareness webinar entitled Ang Revelasyon, The Secret to Maintaining a Healthy Circle of Friends, presented this 30th day of November 2022 via Zoom conference, signed by Glenn S. Tinaripe, President of Rotary Club of Central Tarlac, Mark Vincent L. Milianes, President of Rotary Club of TSU Maharlika, John Nicole A. Banafe, President of Rotary Club of Dolores, and Angel Faith A. Danganan, Chairperson of Project SULYAP.
Thank you so much po.
So once again, thank you po. Now we will be awarding po the Certificate of Appreciation to our partners who toiled hard just to make this event possible. So let us have past President Grace Soriano to please do the honors.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I hope you are all safe and learned a lot on this webinar. Of course, this event will not be successful without the presence and support of our following project and community partners. So to read the certificate, this certificate of appreciation is proudly presented for their invaluable contribution as project partner for Project SULYAP 2.0, Sustaining, Unveiling, and Liberating Youth, Adults, and Professionals, a mental health awareness webinar entitled Ang Revelasyon, The Secret to Maintaining a Healthy Circle of Friends, presented this 30th day of November 2022 via Zoom conference, signed by our dynamic president, Glenn Tinaripe, and the chairperson of Project SULYAP, Angel Faith Danganan, to Central Luzon, Balita. The Rotary Club of TSU Maharlika, and the Rotary Club of Dolores. Thank you so much po as our project partners. Next, for our community partners, this certificate of appreciation is proudly presented for their invaluable contribution as community partner for Project SULYAP 2.0, Sustaining, Unveiling, and Liberating Youth, Adults, and Professionals, a mental health awareness webinar entitled Ang Revelasyon, The Secret to Maintaining a Healthy Circle of Friends, presented this 30th day of November 2022 via Zoom conference, signed by Dynamic President Glenn Tinaripe of Rotary Club of Central Tarlac, Mark Vincent Milianes, the Dynamic President of Rotary Club of TSU Maharlika, John Nicole Banafe, the Dynamic President of Rotary Club of Dolores, and the project Sulyap Chairperson, Angel Faith A. Danganan, to TSU College of Public Administration, College Student Council. Next, to Rotary Club of Tarlac Metro. Rotary Club of Freeport Zone, Subic Bay. Rotary Club of Central Iloilo City. And Rotary Club of Central Tarlac. Of course, Umbral Family. Ayala Amity Centennial Lions Club, 5 p.m. JF. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, partner. And partner. Ayan, thank you so much. Thank you so much, past President Grace Soriano, and also siya po ang aming public image officer. Ayan. And then, firstly, I would like to start by thanking you all, the guest speaker, for her excellent thought-provoking talks, all partners for organizing and keeping the things all under control and reasonably on time. However, most important, I want to thank you all, the participants. With you, this webinar would not be, or would not have been success it has.
And for your e-certificates, just message the Rotary Club of Central Tarlac and send your proof that you have attended this webinar. And you will receive an email within 24 to 48 hours with a link to view your e-certificates.
Okay, before our closing remarks, bago natin tawagin si Dynamic President Glenn Tenerife, can we open our cam for our photo opportunity? Photo ops po tayo before tayo mag-closing remarks. And sino ang magre-ready for the screenshot? Screenshot na yan. Ayan. As your big smile. Pretty smile. Ayan. Pasok mga suki.
Ganyan kang makipag-usap pa.
Okay. Wait lang. Sino po yung okay, sa tech na yung ating screenshot, I guess. Sa tech.
Yes po, ma'am. Give your best.
Yeah,
Hi po.
Thank you, Press.
Give your best smile in 3, 2, 1. Isa pa po. 3, 2, 1. Okay na po.
Oh, wait, one more. Yung sign natin.
Dynamic sign po.
Check
3, 2, 1, smile. Okay na po, ma'am.
Thank you, Press Vincent. Okay, before we end the event, we have the Dynamic President Glenn Tenerife, Rotary Club of Central Tarlac, for his closing remarks.
Hello po, good evening again. Audible po ba?
Yes po.
Ayun. So, thank you so much po sa lahat ng mga nag-attend sa ating Project Sulyap, ang revelasyon. So, first po, allow me to thank sa mga co-host po natin, ang ROC Dolores, ang ROC TSU Maharlika, Central Luzon Balita, at ang mga community partners po natin na tumulong upang mabuo itong proyekto na to. At syempre, hindi po mabubuo ito kung hindi sa mga kasama namin sa Rotary Club of Central Tarlac na bumuo ng topic na ito, especially po sa aming Rotaractor na si Liana. Nakasama din po natin ngayon dito sa ating webinar. So marami pong salamat. At sabi nga po papunta pa lang tayo sa exciting part. Bakit po? Dahil marami po tayong topic na pag-uusapan sa mga susunod pa po na mga project sulyap. At sana po suportahan nyo ang ating proyekto at makakasama pa po namin kayo sa mga susunod pa na mga webinar. At pangako po na ang mga susunod na topic ay mas magi-enjoy po ang bawat isa sa atin. At yun lang po, maraming salamat po and good evening po sa bawat isa.
Thank you so much, Pres Glenn. Again, on behalf of the organizers and our presenter, thank you for joining us today and have a great night.
Okay, 10 minutes before 8 in the evening, this has been your host. Ayan, Ms. Angel Faith from Rotary Club of Central Tarlac. Good evening and have a nice day or good night, everyone. Thank you.
Good night po.
Good night.
The recording has stopped.
IBS Media, 25 years in public service, connecting both traditional and digital. IBS Media, we are engaged in radio, television, talent and events management, public relations, social, digital media, and news service. We are the IBS Media Group. IBS Media Group.